What's going on, guys? My name is Christopher and welcome to It's Complicated, the show where I talk about and showcase wristwatches. So if you love watches like I do, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button, then click on the bell, and you'll be all set. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how big of a difference 1 millimeter can make on a luxury watch. Here we go. Here we have a Rolex Yachtmaster 168268. This is a pretty rare watch to come by. Now, before I get carried away here, I want to mention that this watch was provided to me by watchchest.com. So if you haven't been there before, go check those guys out as they've been good to me and are fans of the show. Anyway, this is a very rare Rolex to come across. It's made from solid 18 karat yellow gold. It is a Yachtmaster, but this Yachtmaster is a mid-size watch, meaning it is a 35 millimeter case size. You don't come across a 35 millimeter Rolex very often. Many DateJusts are 36 millimeters. Older date models are 34 millimeters, but here is a 35 millimeter. Now, this watch is a pretty good value, a solid gold Rolex, and it sells for around $12,000. Compare that to a solid gold date, which sell for around $30,000. So what ends up happening is men think, well, I can wear a 36 millimeter, so why not rock a 35 millimeter? It's only 1 millimeter, and get a solid gold watch for about a third of the price of a Rolex date. The guy over at watchchest.com was telling me that if a dude wants to buy a mid-size watch like this, he suggests that he try one on first, if it is indeed for himself. Many times men who buy this watch just feel like it's a lady's watch and return it immediately. I mean, I can't say I really blame them, as I wouldn't wear this watch. I'm a guy well over 6 feet tall, and I have about 7-inch wrists, and it just wouldn't look right on me. Hell, I can't even fit my hand into this watch to put it on my wrist. Now, granted, that is raised up, so it looks a little bigger than it really would, but even that looks too small for my wrist. Now, my friend, however, he's a little over 5 feet tall, and he's very, very thin, and he could definitely rock this watch if he wanted to. Check it out. There it is on his wrist, and I think it looks okay. So for him, he could grab a solid gold Rolex for about a third of the price of other solid gold Rolex watches. Now here is my 36 millimeter DateJust on my wrist, and you can see it fits me very well. The dial is the same size as my Submariner's dial, but the case is a little smaller. Comes across a little dressy, I think, but still casual enough for everyday use. But the 35 millimeter, I think that would just come across as feminine, and I would never wear it. And that's really the point of this video. 1 millimeter makes that much of a difference. I think a lot of people in their head wouldn't think that just 1 millimeter could make or break the bank, but it absolutely can, as you can see in this video. Now, I think this Yachtmaster would be great for a woman, and as far as value goes, like I said, it is a solid gold Rolex for 12 grand. That seems like quite a bargain. So to any ladies out there watching this video, or any men considering buying their wife a Rolex, I think this one is a fantastic bargain. And not only is it a good bargain, but it's a rare watch as well. It's just that very few men can pull off a 35 millimeter Rolex. Now, since I'm rambling a bit, I'll tell you guys that there is a fella on Craigslist, and he wants like $4,500 for a 34 millimeter Rolex date. It's a two-tone oyster bracelet, but no box, no papers, and he does have it listed as a 36 millimeter watch, because I think he knows that if he has it listed as a 34 millimeter watch, the chances of that thing selling go down drastically. And the only reason he's got it listed as a 36 millimeter is because he's counting the crown in that measurement. A little ridiculous. So how crazy is that? How crazy is that 1 simple millimeter can make a watch completely unwearable? It's madness. You saw my friend, he could pull off a 35 mil watch, but on my 7-inch wrist, not really possible to pull off a 35 millimeter watch over here. Heck, I couldn't even get my hand into the bracelet of that watch. But you know something? There are many other countries where the average height and weight of people is much lower than it is here in the United States. And I bet you that 35 mil mid-size Yachtmaster killed over there. And it might be why it's such a rare watch to come across. And that wraps up another episode of It's Complicated. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, like this video, share it with all your friends, and I'll see you next time on another episode of It's Complicated.